Hello, guys, and welcome back to the last game of the day, or last series of the day. It's going to be between BeastCoast and Infamous. As the ticker says, it does start on time, which at this point is something to be celebrated. BeastCoast versus Infamous. What does this match mean for those of you that are having trouble following the leagues? For Infamous, it means absolutely nothing. No matter if they win or lose, they're safe from Division 2. If they lose. And if they win, they have no chance of making it over to Division 1. There is no chance because Epulze Kings and Infinity, their last matches against each other. So I guess if Infinity technically won that one, and then Epulze Kings lost one but won the other one, technically they could both tie against Infamous and force that relegation, but it's highly unlikely. And for BeastCoast, this match does mean a fair amount because if they win it, they secure that major spot for sure, and only one of the teams are going there, so they definitely want to win this matchup. But this matchup means the most for Lava and Hokori because they are hoping that BeastCoast or Thunder Away can lose, and they get to snag that spot, the major. That said, Infamous versus BeastCoast, always a special match because Accident and Stinger, they have a friendly rivalry between them, and they like to outdraft each other. They have competitions, and they usually get on Discord after the game to make fun of each other on stream, which always adds a lot of viewers, and that's always really nice to them. So we'll see what happens as we go over to our panel. Lelis, RDO. Thank you, Lelis, for joining me again for another wonderful game. What do you think of this match? Do you think Infamous is what it takes to beat them, or have you seen a weaker Infamous this season?
I would say BeastCoast is favored for sure in this matchup. Infamous, they're not looking as good as they did last season, honestly. I think the roster change kind of hurt them. But yeah, I mean, they have nothing to win or lose. Maybe that affects the way they play. I feel like every team wants to win, though, even if it doesn't really matter for qualification or being relegated. I feel like you just don't want to lose anyways. But, of course, it means a little bit less because they don't really gain anything from the standing. But it would be good for, let's say, Apu if they lost, right? Because then they would be tied or something, or from one of the lower teams, like Infinity or something.
If Infinity won their match against Apu, and then Apu won their other match, I forget who it's against, right? And they lost against Infinity, then you could have this three-way tie and potentially force them, right? So yeah, it'd be kind of good there. But most likely that's quite a special case scenario.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, teams would be good for them if they won.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Teams don't care about this, though, as you say, Lelis. I think they play each match. Like when I say nothing to win or lose, is more for the viewers than for the teams, especially because the pride is on the line. Is it true, by the way? Because Panda told me this, that when you lose a match in the DPC, the team that beat you gets to make fun of you in pubs for a whole week, or is that just a South American thing?
I mean, it didn't really happen to me. I don't know about that one, but I mean, it's probably just a friendly thing. I don't think they take it too personally.
Sure, pubs aren't personal whatsoever. RDO, have you ever abused that? When you beat a team, did you ever get to make fun of them in pubs afterwards?
Oof, yeah. One time, I don't remember. No. I lost to some Peruvian team, and their carry started stealing my carry on ranked games. It was awful. So yeah.
That's what they told me.
More motivation to win. Getting a row on the ranking.
I genuinely got told by multiple players, including some of the BeastCoast guys, that this was the main motivation to win, so they don't steal the role in ranked just because they want a competitive.
You gotta earn your respect, right?
Hi, RDO. What is your opinion here? Do you think Infamous could take BeastCoast down? And what strategies would you like to see for them to do so? What do you think BeastCoast... I mean, you listened to Astini, right? He did the mega analysis on BeastCoast. What do you think can be abused of this team?
I think Infamous has to play fast, because if they play the 4-1 strategy against BeastCoast, like BeastCoast, the king of the 4-1, they fight really well with the 4 players, and K1 is a master at farming, so they have to take BeastCoast out of their comfort zone for sure.
In this case, are you a bit worried? Because Infamous also tends to force the 4-1, right? Except for TA on Lumiere. Lumiere is also... what did you call him, Melis? Sorry, what's the term? Ricer?
What, Mega Ricer? Yeah.
That's it, Mega Ricer, right? Yeah, so are you worried that Lumiere will have to swap the style, or do you think that Lumiere can play a faster carry as well?
He's a good player. He can play both styles. Maybe the farming style, it's more comfort for him, but he can for sure play both.
Okay. In your case, Lelis, let's talk about Oscar, right? The change that hasn't still worked out for Infamous. He's been swapping his style a lot, right? We talked about him playing a very sacrificial offlaner. He's kind of had more success trying out something different. How do you think this change has gone for him? Are you satisfied with his growth, or you think there's still a long way to go?
I think he's always improving as a player. I think he was also improving on Thunder.
Mhm.
I mean, it just kind of sucks that he was like on a better team, and now he's on a team that's just doing worse. So it's kind of hard to say exactly if he's just playing worse or just the team is not as good. It's
Right.
hard to pinpoint these things. But I think a change of style is good for every player, so they get to at least play a little bit of every style, and at least after experimenting it, he can decide for himself what way he exactly wants to play, right?
Because have you ever have to go through this where you have like a very specific style of play or very specific hero pool, whatever, and then you were forced into something different? How was that change for you if that happened?
Yeah, I mean, it's something natural. It happens a lot when you join the team that's already consolidated, because they need a certain type of player, right? So then you
Right.
kind of have to fulfill a certain role. It can happen, and then if you are like water, you can adapt, right? Just be like water. But it depends a lot. Some players are not that flexible. I would say myself, I'm not that flexible of a player. I feel like I'm a more greedier type of offlaner. But I don't know. It depends a lot. It depends. If the team is winning, maybe you can be more flexible, right? But if the team is losing, maybe you're just a little bit more frustrated, and it just doesn't really work out. It depends a lot on the team environment.
I like that point actually. Do you find that it's harder for you to adapt when the team is losing, because sometimes you might think that like you have the clash of ideas sometimes where you think your style is actually better, but they're forcing you into a style that's not even working?
Yeah, exactly. That's how it works. Like you think in a certain way, you want to play in a certain way, but then you're forced to play in a different way, and then you're losing. Then you kind of like clash these ideas, and it just creates a lot of conflict and fights in the team.
I'm hoping that's not the case for Infamous as we go over to the draft and see this. Also love that ticker, Bruce Nellis. Really nice. Acknowledging that before we go. Let's see what we have here. They banned the Sanking, which was Infamous's, I guess, faster hero for Oscar.
Let's go.
You think BeastCoast is going to do that again as well?
Yeah, it's gonna be a Mars battle this series. I'm sure of it.
Okay. Who do you think is the better Mars player, Oscar or
Whisper is the god. He's the Mars god.
There was a player, Messier, who told me that he thought Whisper was the best mid laner in SA. Would you agree with that statement? Sometimes?
You mean the offlaner or mid laner?
No, that was the point. That was the joke. Like he said he's the best mid laner. Yeah. He's just so good, right?
Yeah, he's very talented. He can play his offlane heroes at mid lane as well. He plays very good Batrider in Mars mid. Also Panga.
Yeah. We saw the Timbersaw first pick. This is a classic for Oscar Lillis. This is what he was playing back in Omega before he developed this like more sacrificial playstyle. What do you think of Oscar's Timbersaw? And especially, what do you think of the Timbersaw this early?
I mean, a lot of teams, they do this. They just kind of want to secure their offlaner. With Sanking is banned, Mars has been taken, so Timber is one of the like obvious choices, and he's very comfortable on the hero, right? He's been playing this hero first phase like in every team he plays, and it's just a good lane matchup against Mars. So if that ever happens, he can lane against Mars and crush him. And in the game, like the hero is decent against Mars. I wouldn't say it's as skewed as like other heroes like Underlord or something, because I think Mars has a lot of magic damage. You can actually kill the Timber, but the Shadow Demon is there to actually save the Timber. It doesn't die. Actually, we have Michael Jordan on Infamous, huh? He's back from basketball to Dota 2.
Wait, what?
And Michael Jordan right there.
Oh, what? Oh, you're right. Is that a stand-in? That's a good question. Oh, that's right. I'm an idiot.
He just added the Jordan to his name.
Oh my god. You caught me with that joke. I'm sorry, Lillis. I don't know sports. No, that is. BeastCoast, they run the Grimstroke now. They've run this on Stinger before as well. RDO, is this telling of the carry? When you get a Grimstroke 5 as a carry player, do you like combining some sort of like aggressive carry like Jug PA? Or do you think it's okay to just leave that for the end?
It's always good, right? To combo up some strong carry with Grim, because you can make the lane a bloodbath. Because if Grim gets a good laner, he can always kill everyone. And he snowballs by that, then he goes mid, he plays with his mid lane, then your mid laner starts creating space for you, and you're like very happy as a carry.
A lot of people prioritize the soulbind a little bit more. What do you think is more valuable here? Like, do you rather prioritize the Inkswell in lane or the soulbind later on in the game?
Wait a minute, I'm very bad at spell names.
Sorry, soulbind is
so
the ultimate, and Inkswell is the bursting that goes and explodes and stuns.
yeah, the third spell,
Thank you.
the third spell is broken. I
Okay.
think it's not common to get ulti on level 6 because it's not easy to combo. Like you're level 6, you're gonna have a carry at your lane. You're not gonna use your ulti to make such a value from this. Like all the other 3 spells from Grimstroke are very strong. If you get a point on W instead of getting a point on ulti, you have a silence. It's way better than having the double whatever it is.
The soulbind. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. As we progress in the draft, Spirit Bros being banned by Infamous. Is this to protect the Shadowdoom pick, Lellis?
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought BeastCoast was gonna pick Storm instead of the Grimstroke. I was surprised they actually picked the Grimstroke like this. I think Storm was just so good there, and they could ban like all the laning heroes against it. Because now a lot of mids are banned, and like the better mids against Shadow Demon are banned, and against Timber are also banned. Right? Lesh is banned. All the spirits are banned.
Yep.
Only Earth Spirit, but I don't think he wants to play that mid. And his Lina's also banned, right? So he's probably have to play something different than he has played in the last games. I'm so curious to see what he's going to play. He can play anything. That guy's a very versatile player, but he's going to have to at least play something different.
Isn't Grimstroke also like a weak 8th pick? Or like a 5 as an 8th pick is a bit odd?
It is a little bit odd. It's just a BeastCoast special. This hero's pretty weak in lane. They just don't care about the lane, you know. They just play whatever. And the hero's just not... It is a good hero against the Timber in the game. The San's pretty annoying. Does a lot of magic damage. But I think in the lane, I think Timber just gets a free lane if they play it well.
So what they combo with this are taking their time. Michael, obviously on the signature hero, the Hoodwink. That's been a nuisance for every team that plays against Michael. Him and Matthew are probably the best Hoodwinks in South America, if not the world, honestly. They're very, very good.
Earth Spirit.
And there's the Earth Spirit, but obviously that's going to be for Schofield.
Yeah. That's the melee hero for Schofield.
Earth Spirit Mars lane that we saw yesterday.
Oh yeah, that was trash actually. That's a good point. But, you know, Lellis just said BeastCoast doesn't care about lanes, right? So true to form, they don't care about lanes.
I feel like BeastCoast can pick Juggernaut here. It's gonna have a good lane against Timbersaw, can combo with Grimstroke. It's a K1 hero. Alright.
Okay. Why the Viper?
Viper offlane with Earth Spirit. Mars is mid, probably.
Ah, okay. So they make up for that terrible lane by picking a real hero.
Not
Sure.
the legendary lane.
What do you think of Lellis? I know you're a big Viper fan, or used to be, rather.
I think it's fine. They're flexing it right until the end. Until they see what they're playing against, they're going to flex it. This is the BeastCoast
Sure.
special. I think it's okay. I don't think it's an amazing Viper game by any means. Like, Viper is good against Timber, but... I don't know, this matchup, it can be weird. If Timber has an okay game, he can have an early Lotus, and Viper doesn't really do anything to him later. And Viper's also a slow hero. If Timber just gets on top of the Viper super easy with the chain, Viper can suffer. But it might be just a hero to carry the Earth Spirit to lane. And here's the classic response, right? The Terrorblade against the Viper, Illusion hero with Scotty, and also a hero that can just jungle if he has to, right? Viper's winning the lane, just goes jungle at level 4, doesn't really care. Very classic response, because he has a Shadow Demon 5, which is a little bit concerning in this lane. So they make sure they snag this hero before he gets banned. And Epulze already banned, so that's very nice. They're probably going to ban Naga and... what else?
What else could you think of, RDO? Could you give me some ideas for some carries against the TB?
So they can play the Juggernaut carry. If you go Mayo, it's fine against Terrorblade, because you can kill him like any time in the game. There's also Medusa. But Medusa will have a very, very bad lane. I don't think they're gonna pick it.
They banned the CK. Is that a decent matchup against TB as well? Just traditional illusion heroes?
Yeah, it's fine. Like, it's gonna have a good lane. Even though you're playing against Timbersaw, you're gonna have a good lane because you have a Grimstroke, and ES can also rotate bottom and make Timbersaw lane awful. So, and TB doesn't really deal with Fusion, as I said. It's a good ban.
Okay.
I
We'll
feel
have
like
to see,
this band's pretty sus. I don't know. Picking CK into Timber, that's like the worst matchup for that hero in the game or something. He just steals
Okay.
so much stats, just kills the illusions. It's so annoying to play against. Okay, they don't ban the Naga.
Okay, I think
They
it's
probably
a Naga
think
pick
they
here.
have Timber, so then they don't care about it, which is, you know, it is the correct way to think about it. Like, you're gonna play against Naga, you're gonna have a counter pick, and you already have Timber. So sure, you don't care, right? Maybe they're just gonna go with a Jug.
I don't know. We've talked about Hector's mentality before, though. He sees a good core to core, right? He just goes for it sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, if PL was not banned, he would just pick PL.
Right, exactly. We'll see if they decide for the Naga or the Juggernaut here on BeastCoast.
Faceless Void.
Neither. It's gonna be the Void. So what are the strengths of this over the picks that you guys were mentioning, RDO?
It's good team fight. You have sustain from lane with your first spell. It's a mobility hero with Grimstroke, so you can actually use your E. His
Yeah.
W is also good against all the enemy heroes. Like, all the enemy heroes cast a lot of spells on team fight. If you get a good W, enemies cannot do anything. The problem is you're playing against a Shadow Demon. But it's K1. He's gonna farm for 30 minutes, then he'll be like 3, 4, 5 slotted, and game will be hard for Infamous if they just farm. Just trade farm.
He's just gonna chrono this SD probably. Use BKB chrono and just kill the SD.
Right.
And then that's usually what he does. He just uses all his spells on the 5, just make sure he kills the support, and then he just sees what happens later.
Fair enough. And the final pick of the Kunkka here. So they're gonna flex the Viper mid then in the end. Seeing bad lane for Viper off lane and good lane for Viper mid. Why the Kunkka, knowing that the Viper's probably gonna be flexed now?
I mean, Kunkka's very good against Void. The boat
Sure,
is very
let's go
good against Chrono, and the X is very annoying for Void to play against. It always brings him back from the jumps, right?
Sure.
It's very hard. Yeah, I guess they just care about the Viper pick. I don't know.
You like that, so I don't know what your justification was about the Kunkka versus Viper.
Oh, is that lagging?
Yeah. Sorry. You said
Oh
that
my
it was
gosh.
good against Void, and then it went away. But I'm gonna have to stop you there and just ask you what team you favor with this final pick.
I'm gonna go with BeastCoast because they're the better team. But I think
Okay.
Infamous's draft is fine.
Well, you RDO.
I'll also go with BeastCoast. They're like more of a solid team with more experience. They have their comfort heroes.
Okay. I want to ask you, RDO, though, as a side question that might even be more important than your prediction. Is this a good Terrorblade game, in your opinion, in your expert opinion?
I kind of forgot. It's fine against Mars. Good against Viper. It's good against ES. It's kind of bad against Grim. It's a fine Terrorblade game. He can for sure carry it. The Void is a bit annoying because doesn't matter that much the net worth you have. You can always get Chrono and 100 to 0 if Shadow Demon's dead.
Now we're gonna go over to our casting pair now, which is Epulze and Gareth to take this game number 1 for BeastCoast and Infamous.
You're never going to do it, are you? You're just waiting until the final game.
I am doing it quickly now, so I don't hear the voices in my head, Gareth. It's distracted there.
It's me and
by the
Gary
way,
B.
I've been meaning to ask you, have you ever planned on putting something on that green screen, Gareth, or is it just going to be green the whole time?
Now I've seen Bowie's llamas, and I've seen you and Richie with your like skylines and like coastal picturesque images behind you. I think I should, honestly. Yeah, I'll set something up for next time. We'll find a way.
I have a great video of llamas that I can send you, Bowie. A 20-hour loop of llamas. What are your opinion on the draft? Who are you favoring here, Gareth?
Yeah, I kind of agreed with RDO when you opened the panel asking what Infamous needed to do to go up against BeastCoast and try and put them out of their comfort zone. It's kind of interesting to see them here go for this Terrorblade, and it's more of a 4+1 kind of lineup, right? You want Lumiere to be farming away and getting to that point. It's always going to be scary to match against K1 when he's such a master of farming, like RDO was saying. But I don't know, they've got ways to deal with the Void. The Kunkka last pick, like, okay, you're picking it into a Viper that was being flexed, but having the boat, the torrent, the X against Void, and having Shadow Demon Disruption means if you have those two heroes split in a team fight, Void has difficulties landing a good chrono oftentimes.
I have to agree with you with the tempo comment. I was surprised when RDO told me like, oh yeah, I think Lumiere has like can adapt and play a different playstyle. I have never seen him play anything that's not the Uber farmer. Like we cut Berna, a Reister, an Uber Reister. I think Lumiere is his dad. Then I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
That's Gojira.
Gojira might be dying here. Infamous came up with 3, hid behind the trees. Level 1 Whirling Death did a lot of damage, but Gojira, what is he mangoing? He's sticking, he's pressing all his buttons as quickly as he can. Please, get me out! But the Bushwhack connects. He's alive, he's under that tower. You have the tower protection. Stick charge remaining. Now Michael's the one in trouble. Hoodwink, trapped by K1 Whisper. The kick across. Gojira gets the first blood.
I'm starting to think that Schofield has some sort of guardian angel in Dota. That's why he never dies. How is he always making it alive?
That's insane.
It's crazy.
They lose it on bounty runes? No, they still get 2 for 2, right? Lumia, Oscar, and C Smile gets double. Wow.
Yep. It's all good. They do lose a courier though.
You're all washed up.
Yeah, that's whatever. Like Gojira survived. Gets first blood. Yeah, that's nuts.
I did not know what Hector said. I know what comfy means, by the way. I don't know what what is short for. So they're fixing something.
Well, it's
configuration.
It's either comfy, where you're heating something up in oil, comfy a leg of chicken or some garlic, where
I'm sure Hector's referring to that.
Config my keyboard. No, I think it is config. Yeah, you're probably right with that. I'm just gonna config the Shadow Demon. I'm gonna put him in some hot oil.
I love it. Yes, the fried right comfy. Hector cannot cook at all, by the way. Watching him cook, there's a video of it on the BeastCoast channel, which I recommend people watch. It's a really good piece of content. His ideas of how to cook are atrocious. He's the kind of man that washes chicken, okay? So just so you get an idea.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Where's Naz? He's got some. He's got some words about that, I think. Right, so what are these lanes then? We've got Hoodwink, Timber against the Void Grim. And the Void with Time Walk, Time Dilation, plus Inkswell. They just go on the Hoodwink whenever she's out in the open somewhere. It's going to be down to Michael to have that positioning very, very well set. Mid, Void against Kunkka. I haven't seen this in a long time. I'm guessing Viper still does very well.
I think so too, right? But why would it?
Like, does Viper farm small camp? Like, Kunkka clears wave, right? Pushes out and then goes back. Viper anti-pushes with Nether Toxin, but in the mid lane, you want Poison Attack to actually go for kill threat.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Viper skipping Nether Toxin now because it doesn't fully kill the wave now. Oh.
Yeah, Gojira dies down bottom. Disruption into that reflection. To drag them away from the creep wave.
I always tell people that you're a very ethical and wholesome guy, right? And I know that that's why you don't play Viper, but let me tell you, Nether Toxin does not kill the wave. It feels really bad to get any points in it early, honestly.
Okay.
It doesn't even kill the range creep, so...
So then he does struggle against the wave push of Kunkka, right? So then that even kind of amplifies the fact that alone here, maybe with some bottle refills from his supports, can just push the wave out, farm small camp, and just dodge the Viper as best he can. I don't know. It's still rough, especially when Gojira comes in with a kick. Smile, not going to finish him off. He's under tower, so he's still healing and has a tango going, but he's not going to get either of the water runes. C-Smile's going to get both.
I think there's one of those lanes that we talked about this in Hokoi, right? Where the 4 has to rotate early. He rotated for a 2-minute rune. Well done, right? And he has to block the camp. And I think if you accomplish those two things, Viper still wins it. But you got to make sure that you can actually play the lane. If Kunkka can just avoid the lane, then it becomes much harder.
Yeah, then you get into the kind of weird 6-7 minute point where this Kunkka is going to be, level 7-8, going to side lanes. Viper doesn't do a great job at rotating, I feel, but we'll see. I just haven't seen a lot of mid Viper recent, honestly, so my take on it is mild. We'll see.
No, I mean, you're
we'll
right,
see it.
I think the reason why the heroes fade away is why every mid laner complains about, which is lane just doesn't matter as much anymore, right? You're win lane, Kunkka rotates, you're okay. Because you play Quap, at least you can match rotation, so it's fine. When you play Viper, you don't have that, as they go for him, by the way.
Yeah, they come mid with a Hoodwink and bring C-Smile down to about half. That Nether Toxin's in the river, but Kunkka has plenty of damage. Just keep on right-clicking him. Finishes off the Viper, and Gojira unable to save C-Smile.
So this is one of the biggest issues with the Viper. that we always talk about. It's a very sink or swim hero. And it's one of those matchups where it makes the Viper player or the Kunkka player look really bad no matter what, because once you get close to the Viper, he's an easy kill, actually. People see him as a tank, kind of, but now that you're mid, he did go for the point of their Toxin. You don't really have that much tankability against a Kunkka and a Hoodwink. So if they get up to you, they get up close and personal, you just die, and nothing much you can do against that.
And it's also like, what items do you buy on this hero? Like, do you go for that Dragonlance Maelstrom BKB kind of right-clicky hero? I don't see C-Smile as the aura buying kind of guy, right? He wants damage.
Yeah. The last build that was popular was definitely the Dragonlance build with Boots of Travel, right? That was the Boots of Travel into like Dragonlance, so you can actually push out waves. It's okay. I haven't seen Atos either being very popular on this hero. I've seen a lot of people go, by the way, Wraithbat Null to try to win the lane, but if you're mid, you get a lot more experience, so you can actually get away with your Spottle instead.
So when I saw the Viper pick, oh, hang on. Stinger caught up in the bushwhack. He's not going to escape even with that ink swell.
So awkward.
When I saw the Viper pick, I thought, that's kind of nice, because they now no longer rely on Earth Spirit buying a Vessel against Timber. They can actually have the 3 Viper do it, but then they move Viper to mid, and I don't know, I just wonder, does he still go for a Vessel maybe? And then think about items after?
Yeah, you know, I have seen some Vessel carry like mids, right? I don't think C-Smile's the kind of player to do that, though.
Yeah, like we've seen it on Necro, for example, right? Like Necro buying Vessel, even from position 1. Yeah, I want to keep my eyes on it, for sure. But look at this smoke.
I agree with your point, though, on the Nether Toxin, but I think Lelis was really right on the panel at saying it's kind of a trap, because you still remain... Like, the stacks you have when you enter Nether Toxin still stay there, right? Just don't get new ones.
Kick back Michael into C-Smile. So his one death doesn't matter so much. And the Kunkka actually left that lane. Yeah, he's completely avoiding it. He went top to farm jungle and hit his level 6. This is the thing, right? If Alone can find space elsewhere, why the hell not?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe even kill K1. He's time walked into this. X mark boat. Alone's caught the void, and you just don't expect this at all. K1 with no supports near him. Now they're going to TP top to refill Alone's bottle again. What a weird game.
Stealing a stack, though.
Yeah, Radiant are playing 3 in the triangle. Axel walks into them and is like, yo, what is going on? They smoked from bot to mid, killed my Hoodwink. Now they're taking the stacks. My Kunkka's top, ganking the void with my Timbersaw. And Kunkka is coming with the Hoodwink. C-Smile's on like half HP. Level 1 Nether Toxin still trying to take this stack at like the past 40 seconds. And an X mark onto Gojira. It's going to drag him back. No Torrent, still on cooldown. Attempted roll. He doesn't get away. Dodges the bushwhack, though, and he's buying time for Viper actually to push damage onto Oscar, but Axel's disruption potentially setting back up for the Viper kill now as they've got that urn on him. And Alone with the kill, taking the spree away from Viper.
This is common for BeastCoast. Like, their whole game plan is just getting Hector farm, and that also implies breaking enemy team's farm to a degree, right? I think those stacks should have been for Kunkka as well, possibly. And that could give him a lot of space.
What happened to Lumiere? He died solo to Whisper, hey?
And there's no arena. Where? How?
So, I mean, it's exactly your point. I agree 100% now. send 20 heroes into Radiant Triangle and the Terrorblade can't farm bot.
I don't think that should happen, though. I think that's a mistake by Lumiere. I mean, I didn't see what happened, but there's no way you get a solo kill on the Terrorblade with a Mars without arena.
And they're trying to clear this ancient stack. They've used boat, bushwhack. They're throwing spells at it. Oh, this is so cool. Ooh. It's such a fun like approach to what's actually happening. Yeah, and they're in the triangle again. Affliction tagged out by that stroke of fate. Slow to a crawl. Triangle belongs to Dire yet again. Ancient stack almost cleared. Lumiere is wondering what the hell he needs to do to catch a break and hit some creeps. He's gonna get rolled on.
Arena now.
Arena. Well, they miss roll, they miss spear. Lumiere doesn't have Sunder.
Where's the voice line? Panic, panic, panic from Entity there.
Yeah, just throwing bodies into the meat grinder. Now Michael, he's been found by Stinger and C-Smile. No one cares bottom lane apart from Oscar, apparently. Everybody else is up near this Roche pit and the triangle contesting stacks.
Yeah. I like that. I think when we talk about SA, though, is why it's so fun, right? Because they just decide on one thing that they have to do and they commit to it. They're very carpe diem. Whatever the consequences happen, they don't care. They're living in the moment. They gotta take those stacks. That's all they care about. Lumiere did get all the big creeps though, as Gojira dies down bottom to Oscar.
Yeah, just casually chasing a Timbersaw away from the tower, you know. Melee strength
Things you
hero.
do as a 4.
Position 4 running at Oscar's Timber.
Oscar was very confused there because he just got the kill for free there. Like, oh, okay, I guess.
It does like triple the wave though for Whisper, who was lacking a bit. Yeah, 2,800 net worth. He is dropping behind the rest of the cores. So at least that sets up for him to recover somewhat. Void chronoing under his own tower, defending up against the Shadow Demon. Doesn't get the kill though. Now Michael and Lumiere, they don't get the catch onto K1. So Whisper's rotation unlocks the ability to kill the 2 supports. It's like Lela said, every time you see the Shadow Demon, you got chrono off cooldown, just use it.
Gareth, that bushwhack projectile is so slow. Doesn't matter how good a hoodwink you are. Anything with a little bit of mobility and a reaction time that's not that of a dead cat can avoid that projectile. It is terrible. It's so difficult if you don't have a setup, and even disruption is not good enough. And I don't think we can really blame Michael for that. But he has been stuck in that level 5 for a while, and that sharpshooter is necessary for him to start ganking with the Timbersaw.
Looks like Viper's going the Dragonlance route.
Yeah,
I
it's
had
the build these days, I think.
I had someone whispering in my ear a couple of days ago about Viper buying Dagon as his 3rd item. Dragonlance Dagon BKB with the shard. You get that magic resist reduction. Just zap people for like 1,000 damage.
Okay.
Can't wait to see it.
I hope not.
See Small getting kicked around and then dragged back into the boat. He didn't even get the haste rune, did he either? Yeah, Axel grabbed the haste and allows alone to bring that Viper down yet again. But every time Viper dies, it seems like he's got a streak to take. 3-0, then 4-0.
Yep. That is the C-Smile thing. You look at his deaths, you're like, wait, he's died 3 times. Wow. And then also he's top net worth. 7 kills. What? How? What is C-Smile doing? Where does he find his farm?
It's his support's just allowing him to take the last hits every time.
It is true, though, that Hector and Whisper are doing worse than usual. And he's on a Void, right? He has to go for his first farming item. Hector will never go for a fast build. Always needs a farming item first.
Oh, sting up. He's going to get blown up in those trees. K1 with no chrono, still considering this fight, but hey, he's in that torrent. Time walks away. C-Smile's raining the poison attacks in onto Oscar. But with a hood, raindrop, and wand, there's no way you're touching this Timbersaw right now. It's just kind of funny to see how they're kind of ping-ponging around the map, right? Oscar TP's bot pushes out a little bit, and he's like, no, I need to be top to defend against this Void. So TP goes back down there. Didn't get to clear out his Ancients or his Triangle. Lumiere still 2nd in net worth, as they've, for the most part, been left alone. Outside of that one death of Lumiere, he and Oscar have had pretty good laning stages.
I'm going to go for C-Smile again. Can they catch him? This time Bushwhack hits again. There's the ghost shit.
He's pretty tanky with the raindrops, though. They need Oscar. Timbersaw, he's everywhere, you know? This Timbersaw is ganking. He's rolling in.
Yeah. Him and Michael have been playing a really good early game. Like I said, Michael's one of the... General SA is the best region to watch Hoodwink. There was a time where I always looked at Hoodwink builds because, you know, the hero was new and we were like trying to see what people determine. And like in some regions you would see Solar Crest, some regions you see Aether Lens's first item. And SA, there was a trend which I loved, which was, guys, I think I should build Scythe of Vice first item. And that was what every Hoodwink was building for like a whole patch. You're like, oh my god, why?
Just rush
Who
Scythe.
chose this? Yeah, Matthew did this in a game and he actually got Scythe for like 20 minutes. He's like, this is clearly the optimal build on the hero.
If you can get away with it, why not?
Yeah, that's what they always did as well. I mean, this is a region of farmers, right? They're hardworking farmers. They always work from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They get their gold. That's why Chris Luck still stays with good net worth despite his deaths, because he knows where to farm.
Unfortunately, not going so great for Whisper, though. He's pretty far behind what we expect from this offlane Mars. Solar Ring Bracer, Phase Boot still needs a good 800 for the Blink Dagger. He's caught up in the last 2 minutes or so, but his net worth was suffering heavily. I guess they now give him a bit of a free lane. I think one of the factors is they haven't really been able to collapse onto objectives yet. Usually you'd see this bottom Radiant Tier 1 die 2-3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But it's full HP.
Because the commitment that you have to like put in as a Mars, right, is much worse than the Timbersaw, who just needs to kind of stand in there. They haven't taken the Tier 1 either, but Timbersaw's been rotating. Mars doesn't have that level of push either. That's why Whisper used to go. Remember when he used to go for the Meteor Hammer build on Mars just to push the tower early?
Yeah.
I would have liked that this game, but it's a bit too slow, I think, in this meta.
Yeah, and he needs a way to get in onto the TB or get in, like, onto the Shadow Demon, right? Like, if the Void is finding one, Mars kind of has to find the other. Even
Exactly.
like TB, Conquer, SD, they're the 3 big targets for your teamfight ultis.
And if Void and Viper are already farming and you go for Meteor Hammer, you're condemning your game. Like, you're never going to have any space for this team.
Yeah, it's done. Oh, BKB
Jira
next for
going
C Smile, so he's just tanking up on this Viper.
Very lackluster build, though. I feel like this is not a build where, like, oh, big power spike. Dragonlance is okay. BKB is okay, but don't do as much as Viper.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Just like with other heroes, you know, Gyrocopter as an example, right? Or even Luna, going for this kind of Dragonlance BKB feels okay because A, you have a great way at flash farming, clearing camps and pushing waves, and you actually have teamfight AoE capabilities with Eclipse and Cooldown. And Gojira, yeah, surrounded, swarmed in upon, but the roll away actually is given a gap to escape by this Kunkka and Timber. And there we see a little bit of the counterplay that Grimstroke has against Timber, right? When his Chakram is out, he can't do anything against the Phantom's Embrace. The dead wife.
Wait, what?
The Phantom is Grimstroke's dead wife.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I didn't know that! Oh, I've never read the skill before. That is awful. Okay. Well.
Yeah, it's a she. The Phantom is a she, by the way.
No, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, read the skill, guys. This ruined my day.
Oh, hello. Whispers in, using his blink. Gets on Axel yet again, focusing on that position 5 Shadow Demon to make sure there is no save. And then relaxation time. Calm and back to farming.
Hector does this thing sometimes where he sees farm and he's like, I didn't get away with it. And then he forces the whole team to rotate and he just barely gets out with his life right now after farming that really dangerous mid lane. That Maelstrom is going to take forever to come online. And it seems like, by the way, he's going for the Time Walk Void, right? I think that's the best way to describe it. Where you don't abuse your Chrono as much, you don't go for the MOM or the damage inside of it. It's more about being able to Time Walk all the damage away and fighting the team fight constantly. It's what he usually does against Terrorblades. Because against a Terrorblade, it's a bit of a difficult situation with Chrono. If you have damage in Chrono, great, Terrorblade always dies. But if you don't have damage in Chrono, you depend on the Void to kill him before Sunder comes out. It's a tall order. This is a more consistent build.
Just going to use this BKB here. Catch out C Smile. There's a nice soulbind though, and C Smile, even tanked by the sharpshooter, still tanking through a lot of this damage until he's finally brought down by the whirling death of Oscar. Now though, Gojira with Magnetize on Kunkka, catching out Michael as well. There's a lot of damage and slow. He misses the roll. Stinger has no mana left, so difficult to catch until K1 arrives with a Chrono. Solos out the Kunkka as Lumiere leaves his illusions around and backs away to try to chase Gojira down, but he is a slippery earth spirit. No boots. But potential to get out unless Michael can stop him. Oh, and now there's a stun. Oh, he's got the Yules on Timber. Cancels the TP. A lot of time spent chasing him, and then back to mid lane. Axel and Lumiere. Okay, they're just making illusions of the TP.
Oh god, nah, not this trying to get Gareth. Luna Shadow Demon still haunts my dreams.
Safe farming.
Yeah.
An easy tower push.
By the way, I wanted to point out team fight. I know that like a lot of carries do this, but when carries join fights early, we always commend them. It's like, oh, it's nice, you know, they use their power spike well. But when Hector goes for a kill early, it always feels like he's just farming a person. It doesn't feel like he's changed his gears at all. Like, he just goes in, last hits the Kunkka, immediately leaves, no interest in the fight whatsoever.
That creep was larger than the rest. Must have been an ancient. Yeah, it was an ancient
had
creep.
A beard as well.
Ooh, Nether Shawl for C Smile.
Huge.
So is there anyone better for that?
Mars, maybe? Even Gojira. Actually,
I think Earth Spirit.
Yeah, because he went for Veil Ags. Can we talk about... Have you talked to Fogged about what this Ags, what he thinks he should be used for?
No, what Earth Spirit's one?
Yeah, so you know how everyone uses this for save and stuff, right? You turn your teammate and you save him. That's the obvious one. But he discovered that, and you actually read the skill, has a 5-second cooldown when using on remnants, right? And when it happens when using on remnants is you can send it in and it explodes and deals a ridiculous amount of damage.
Okay.
It deals like 450 damage, which is ridiculous.
This should be a
It's
nuke.
pretty wide. Yeah, so you just send the remnants in as if they're bombs, and you just keep using the skill. And it actually deals a ridiculous amount of damage. And Fog,
Wow.
we talked about this in TI, and he says he's been waiting out for someone to just like abuse that in a competitive match.
I mean, like with Veil Magnetize as well, right? Like you're sending Magnetize into them and blowing it up and amplifying it with Veil. That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, I've got hype. When he told me about this, I was like, no way. I have to reread the skill because I've never seen that part of the skill before. 5-second cooldown, Gareth. That's huge.
Yeah, a Whisper. Look who he's found. It's the Shadow Demon.
Did you catch the interview we got with Stinger last game we talked to him?
I
was saying-
watched a bit of it, I think.
So we talked about Axel because I know they're friends, right? And Aston's like, oh, are you excited for that game? Expecting to hear an answer along the lines of, you know, like, oh, I know how he drafts, I can get in his head, which is what he said in the cool video he made for BeastCoast. And instead, Stinger tells me, yeah, I know what he sounds like when he gets frustrated. I can't wait to make him scream.
Oh, wow.
So that's the definition of it.
Man, Alone is just throwing these BKBs out left and right, but he misses on the initiation because Whisper blinked out of his spells. They do stop or at least slow down this push. They get away though. See Smile doesn't get hit by the sharpshooter. Michael getting rolled towards. Viper pretty low on the old HP, but he's not going to waste his BKB. He's still holding that pig pole. He's got Grove Bow in his backpack.
Ever since you mentioned that Dagon, my guy, I just want to see him build it. He has Grove Bow. He can go for the talent. I want to see this Dagon Viper build. You told me that.
He's gonna refinish Dragonlance, right? And then we see what he's gonna buy. Then we see. I just honestly don't know what, like maybe buy Skadi against Timbersaw or something, because you don't have the Vessel this game. Like Gojira dying here. It's going to delay his Aghanims, but he gets out the Magnetize, and now Whispers in again, just focusing Axel's SD. No saves to come out, and Timbersaw's magic resistance is shredded by the Viper, while the Void, Chrono's alone. Kunkka, he's being whacked away at by K1. Dies on the enemy side of the river, and they're going for more. Michael tagged by the spear, but doesn't connect onto anything behind.
They use that voice line. They're really happy with how these team fights are going. He's finally finished up the Manta style now as well. So he won't have to move away from the Chrono if he's good at Manta dodging. That bushwhack is not hard to do.
It gets to this point where, like, okay, Lumiere has been completely free farming. He's top of the net worth by a good 2,000. That is the entirety of the lead for Infamous, and it just doesn't feel like the other four heroes are staying in the game. You know, BeastCoast are fighting them and matching them really nicely.
For all that we talk about BeastCoast being a 4 protect 1 kind of team, right? I feel never get enough credit the fact that C-Smile and to a large degree still stay in the game. Like they never truly just support. And I think the Lumiere style don't really accomplish as much. And you watch any of Lumiere's team, and it's really just like some boy. It's like Bruce Springsteen in D Street Band, right? Nobody's there for D Street Band. And that's what it feels like. Just a bunch of fun, that's it.
Who did was it Hikori? I'm trying to remember the first season's. Yeah, I remember vividly his Troll and his Luna, where it would literally be 20-25 minutes of losing the game. You're down 20 kills to 5, and then Lumiere would come out of the jungle and be like, I am ready, and then just win the game off the back of, 1v9 basically. And it has felt like that has been his playstyle for the majority of the DPC. I don't know if it works against BeastCoast, the kings of South America, and spreading the map and playing that more macro-oriented game.
Gardic was telling me that it felt really liberating to play with Yuma because it felt like he could actually use more strategies than just that one, which is what Lumiere always tries to play.
Yeah, that makes sense. They do get Roshan, they get Aegis. 22 minutes in, this is key moment now for Terrorblade to get out and play with the items he's spent so long farming. They forced the BKB out of C-Smile as he returns to Fountain. And K1, time walks across, but the Spear Arena catching the Terrorblade, they're going to blow him up. First life down. Sharpshooter's good, though. Whisper has to BKB himself. K1 has Chrono still at the ready. 3 heroes stuck inside, but where's the damage? Nothing coming. Absolutely nothing coming. Gojira Inkswell does focus in onto the Hoodwink, latching onto a target, but he's glimmer caping and running away as Stinger's left to the Wolves. Infamous get onto the Grimstroke, and they will eventually be able to bring him down. Oscar, though, does die over in the Dire base.
Yeah, so he chased after Void. That actually makes sense, I'll be honest. He chased after the Void, right? And then he Timber chained up to the high ground to TP, but then Whisper caught him with a spear, and then that stopped him. As they say, the worst enemy of a Bolivian is another Bolivian, right? So Whisper truly destroying Oscar here.
Annihilated. Yeah, that was your Aegis. That was your Aegis BKB TB. I guess he didn't have BKB that fight, but yeah, Manta, Aegis, Terrorblade. They don't even get the tier 2. I would say they probably didn't even win the team fight, right? It was a 2 for 1. Aegis plus Timber for the Grimstroke.
I feel like that fight was just ill-advised, though, because I think the timing of this game for the Terrorblade is a Scotty, right? I don't know what you're fighting before that. Aegis or not, right? You're definitely diving tier 2, who's... Void dealt no damage. He did that little trick where you chrono 3 people, you touch each of them once, and you go, oh, I'm useless. And you walk away. But you're not going to kill the Void either.
Oh, C-Smart didn't get his BKB off. So down he goes. Stinger, do they have gap close on him? Got the vision. Now able to get on top of the Grimstroke. Don't even need the hit from Alone's Kunkka, just Oscar there. And now Infamous, they're swarming on this map, even without Aegis. They're going for this tier 2 yet again.
Let's see. Oh, Whisper?
Oh. Yeah, I mean, he's got in on Michael. They know that Alone's TP top, I think. Gojira's bailed away from it. The Kunkka's not available. So Michael, dead to the arena. Chrono is, what, 20 seconds out? Infamous will group up again, and the Yule's catching Whisper. He's got no BKB, can't blink away. They'll slow him down with the Chakram. He's still pretty tanky, but this Whirling Death, stealing his stats, is going to start stacking up real bad for him. Lumiere there, and Oscar to take his unstoppable streak.
Okay, that was actually a really good play by Infamous. Something I really respect about Peruvian teams is that most teams, you gotta teach them to be a little bit more aggressive and not play too defensive, you know, and like not take more risks so they can actually take advantage of opportunities. And Peruvians are the opposite, really. And I say Peruvians and South Americans because Brazilians don't really play that way, but Peruvian teams really do take every small amount of efficiency they can out of a game. And if they've managed to reel that into the proper moments, like Infamous is doing right now, I think it does work out well. That earlier fight was a bit sus, but this fight was really good.
It's kind of always felt that way, even since the Join Dota League days, right? And it's
yes,
like I don't know. People often say it's like Peruvians or South Americans like more emotional and playing off instinct and stuff like that. But honestly, I feel like a lot of players just globally play for themselves and they want to play to their strengths. And it feels like Peruvians and South Americans are like playing for themselves, but looking to exploit the weaknesses of their opponents way more. Like, okay, he's out positioned here. We're gonna get him. Make him pay for his mistakes. Like, it may not be a mistake that is apparent until it's exploited by these players.
Gojira. He is. Oh, okay. He got away barely.
Or did he?
He does that.
Meanwhile, in the other jungle, there's a big battle, and Michael's used his arena to kill off Whisper. K1's BKB is allowing him to open up on Alone.
Yes, Chrono.
And the Shadow Demon can maybe disrupt. He's got it ready. Saves up the Terrorblade. From the low ground, Axel buys time for the TB here. With BKB ready, could continue this fight. Also has a Sunder to play with, so a double kill for Lumiere. C-Smile, the Viper is down, and Stinger, even under his Glimmer. Ooh, hang on. Tumbler's tied to the low ground. He's making space for himself while Gojira's rolling away from Oscar. K1 and Whisper do not want to get involved again, so Stinger's left all alone. Lumiere's triple kill. And Gojira trying to just drag them away and buy a bit more time.
Yeah, I wanted to add to your point because I really glad you mentioned that, actually. I think people underestimate the methodical chaos that South American teams usually have. And one of the things that I think leads them to be this way is also the fact that because you have such uber carries in this region, like literally every single carry here wants to be the 1v5 kind of carry, a lot of supports don't really value their life whatsoever. They have no regard for themselves. They will throw themselves at the enemy happily to create some space for the carry. And that leads to a lot of more interesting and riskier plays, which are not always great. Well, it's wonderful. And Gareth, I want to invite you one day to just kind of watch a game with a team like this, because what they keep doing in the lane, like BeastCoast does this, they will keep insulting the support whenever he's full HP.
Oh, yeah?
And they go to the lane, it's like level 1, he's like, Hector's like ping, ping, ping. If I was supporting with this guy, I would trash him. I would report him. Because in Europe, they play for, the plays, right? They try to play the lane differently. They try to go for the kills. In Peru, it's all about sacrificing yourself for your carry.
Yeah, oh, Whisper has to BKB, and Radiant all run away. But I don't know, I kind of feel like I agree with that mentality. I don't know, like, if you watch other esports, if you watch, I think card games in particular, like, Hearthstone or Artifact or whatever. Magic the Gathering.
Artifact,
like,
okay, yeah.
Like, I didn't think about it this way until I started, like, watching, I think in particular, like, Magic and Hearthstone, where they talk about health and mana and cards. Everything is a resource to be used. So it's like, if you're full HP and you're full mana, or you're level 1 and you pick a skill that takes no mana to use, you're not using the resources you have to their full effectiveness. Like, okay, it may be the correct decision.
Yes.
But it's like, you're not using the resources you have at all.
I love that point. You're so right. Like, Dota is similar to StarCraft, except that instead of minerals and gas, you have HP and
mana, right? Yeah.
And there's the solo chrono we talked about by accident.
Yeah, just kill him.
But you're on point, and I think that understanding by South America, if they had more coaches in the region and more people that could bring that consistency, could lead to a new understanding of Dota. And OG, for example, was a team that also understood that pretty well when they won TI. They did a lot of
Whisper. That's the BKB again. Second time in a row in that mid lane, just got a BKB defensively. Infamous, so they're at the throat of BeastCoast right now, and yeah, Gojira's rolling away. They've clipped Stinger with a torrent though. Needs to glimmer just to try get a bit of distance. But I think in games like this, like, yes, you see a 6k lead for Infamous, and yes, they're pressing, pushing forward. Looks really good for them, but in the back of my head, I always have that tingling feeling of BeastCoast needs one fight. They need one fight, and they are not just back in the game, but really dictating the tempo of it. Alone's BKB top, gonna drag Stinger back with the X mark, and they're finding kills on these supports over and over again. It's just gonna come down to that next Roshan, really. 30 seconds, and he will respawn.
That's where I have, by the way, a little bit of an issue with how Alone and Oscar are itemizing a little bit. If you look at them, they've kind of decided that Oscar is, he's tank, but he's leaning more towards teamfight with like a Blink Shivas, or sorry, Blink Wind Waker. And then the Kunkka is leaning more towards being the pseudo tank, right? They haven't salvaged stuff, which is fine. But when this goes late and you have Mars Arena and Chrono to deal with, you're going to have much less teamfight and Infamous. And it'd be nice if you had like even a wave, right? Even the Tidal Wave or Torrent Storm to deal with that a little bit. Because it feels like Alone, once his tank ability runs out, which is just once the sustained damage on Void is too high, you're going to feel like a creep. So I would like to see an Ags on him at some point. Or even the Shard. I think the Shard on Kunkka is great.
Honestly, I think it's fine, but only because Shadow Demon has so much farm. Like, if this was a normal +5 SD with Tranquil's Blink or Tranquil's Ether Lens, then it's like Timbersaw and Kunkka would need more displacement, more damage. But the fact that he's able to Blink disrupt anyone in the Chrono and save them, the TB with the AC buff from the Kunkka, and then the potential save with Wind Waker in Chrono as well, Terrorblade is everything. So if they can save him and make sure he's alive, he could potentially just 1v5 these team fights.
That's a very good point. And actually, to your credit, Michael's also going for Lotus Orb, right?
Yeah.
Even buff the Terrorblade further.
All right, catch Gojira. He's got Aghanim Scepter. So away he goes, surfing across, and a Chrono from K1. Look who he's caught. Ninth death of the game on Axel. Michael's also being pummeled here as the BKB comes out, but a little too late. The Halberd already arrived, and a spear hits an illusion. Alone is inside this arena, but he's got BKB ready. K1 runs the hell away. Inkswell, the BKB, Manta dodging any kind of reinitiation from Infamous.
Lumiere cosplaying the anime there, hanging against the walls. Let me in! As he just literally ran towards the arena. That was such a weird play by Lumiere. Stood against the wall for solid 3-4 seconds there.
Well, he's still got Aegis, so something to hang on to at least. Nearly Silver Edge as well.
Pickup. Yeah. It's very good because Void, when you go for this build, you depend on Time Walk, right? So your biggest asset is mobility, and your second biggest asset is your passives. Silver Edge deals with both. It gives you mobility as Terrorblade, as much as you can have as Terrorblade, and also breaks that Time Walk, so you can actually fight against the Void. It's a really good pickup, actually.
Does it break the backtrack, the 25 talent?
That's a very good question. I do not know.
Yeah,
to be
I
honest.
didn't even think about that. Oh, maybe.
It should, right? But you know, Dota.
Yeah, it's just like one of those things. Like, is it a passive? Is it just like an innate ability that happens? Is it breakable? Who knows? Looks like it's going to be high ground time for Lumiere though.
The way that it's coded in a lot of these passives and talent trees is that they're actually linked to one of the abilities, right? And so what sucks is that if it's linked to, like, say, Time Lock, great. But if it's linked to Time Lock for whatever reason, because Valve, right, then you don't break it.
Yeah, Dota works in weird ways, wonderful ways, but weird.
Yeah. That's what the wonderful thing about this game is, right? That you'll ask a pro player about certain interaction, they don't even know.
Yeah. Never thought about that before. Oh, Whisper again, BKBing. He's going to blink away and TP, very likely. Oh, maybe not. Astor Arena. What's he doing now? Just keep on running. Oscar, he's got the blink, and now a Timber Chain forward. Needs the spear. So try and make a gap, but it's bridged immediately by Oscar as K1 is killed. Axel yet again. Whisper's blinking in the trees and TPing home. He's safe. This is all time wasted on the Aegis. That's meant to be a high ground push. That's meant to be, you know, 4 minutes of pressure from Infamous, but they're being dragged across the map, baited in here and there. And Terrorblade can't reach the base.
Lumiere does see Smile. I don't know if this is the play, though. He's trying to build with an illusion. Okay, activates meta, and he really wants C-Smile.
He'll get him.
The illusions will cover him. Nice. Whisper went for the shard to deal with him, but good illusion placement by Lumiere. Not even to activate BKB just yet.
Yeah, maybe with the remainder of this meta plus Aegis, they can take the tier 3 mid. Always got to be aware of this K1 Void, though. Yeah, Time Warp, backtrack. Tier 3 still down, and Lumiere in that Silver Edge invis. I don't think they know he's here, so Asunder quickly onto Whisper, trying to push damage forward, but the Bulwark and the BKB come out. Disarm on the Void, so can't go in with a Chrono. They do have Refresher on Whisper, though. So double arena potential in about 5 seconds with his BKB back up. And he's going to have to make a move soon because your buildings are falling quickly. They jump in on the TB. The Chrono, 3 heroes caught in the back. Is beautiful. Now the Refresher, but he's used up in the air. Can't spear anyone. They've killed Axel and Michael, though. And K1, he's hammering this alone Kunkka. Whisper helping him out. The boat flies across them. Stinger dies but buys back as the Terrorblade. Sunder into Gojira, and K1's reflected upon. He's got to be glimmered and run away. The Terrorblade, too powerful. Still holding Aegis and still pushing high ground. Gojira's rolled back in.
I was just on the Dotapedia page to tell you this information, Gareth. It can be broken, backtrack, by the way, and as an interesting tidbit, Time Block does not give you back the Sunder change as well. That's why you can heal there.
Okay, well, having problems. Mid lane Barrett's gone. Oh, the Lincolns. Oh,
what? Okay, I mean,
what was the time? What was the timer? There's like 12 seconds left on Aegis.
20 seconds. Yeah.
Well, he's still pretty powerful, and he's got meta back up in 5. So another set here. Faceless Void trying to get onto Michael, but this disarm from Kunkka. So many problems being caused by Alone. K1 still chasing him, and C-Smile dead to Lumiere's Terrorblade. Meta's back up. K1, sure, you'll get 1 kill, but it's time to run away and potentially just try and BKB, but he can't get it off in time. He's dead for 100. That's going to be game.
Okay. I gotta give credit to your earlier point, Gareth. You're totally right. They play around the Terrorblade, and it worked out perfectly. Lumiere knew how to carry this. That Heaven's Salver has been so impactful just because it's all to enable the TB, right? And I think Lumiere has played extra risky than usually would on the TB, and that's because he knows how much weight he's carrying on his shoulders. This guy's so good when he has to 1v9. It's crazy.
Ah, they can't touch him. I mean, even with that huge, 3-man Chrono in the back, right? Lumiere just still stands there with Manta BKB, has Sunder, doesn't care. Get their Mega Creeps, run out. And now what do? Your Viper doesn't clear Megas. Your Mars doesn't. Your Grim can help a little bit. Your Void has a Maelstrom.
Just that final point.
Yeah.
In case you weren't aware, Void is not dealing any damage. I mean, this is the weakness of playing the Void with this time walk build, it is such a hard Void to play, right? When you play Void with the Chrono build, all you need to do is get a good Chrono, which, I mean, it's not easy, but it's certainly easier than having to time walk perfectly, playing each team fight to the millimeter, not get hit by Sunder as well, which is a big deal this game. That's why you have to go for Lincolns. It is a rough game for a Void to have to play with a time walk build. Especially with Michael as well. Kind of always bushwhacking him every single time. He has hit him a couple of times with a rather slow projectile just because he's very patient about it.
It's also K1 being pretty greedy with his BKB, honestly. The past couple of fights, Alone just hits him with Halberd, and then he time walks in and has to backtrack because he knows he can't Chrono. But if he BKBs preempt, like I say, it's him being greedy, but it's like if he BKBs preemptively, it has to be the perfect Chrono. You know, before he goes in, he has to know where he's going and where the enemies are.
Though, even though Hector doesn't feel like the biggest mega carry, I do feel like if he had a mid laner, it would be easier. It's not really C-Smile's fault, it's just that this Viper has not really done much past the laning stage.
Yeah.
He didn't scale at all. And the Linkage pickup, maybe a bit too defensively. I think it's justified for this game, but you have Dragonlance. That's your damage item, dude. That's why.
And he was like enabled pretty well, right? He went 0-1, but then he went 3-1. Then he was 7-3. It was like, so 0-1, then like 3, he had a killing spree, then he died again. Then he had mega kill, then he died again. And now he's, what, 9-9-7?
Right. And if we talk about resources, right, another resource is time. And Earthspit spent this time mid, sacrificing Whisper's lane, which is fair enough. Something that actually BeastCoast sometimes struggles with, which is Whisper such a good guy that he lets Schofield roam around and save Chris Luck. But that means that Chris Luck has to do more. Whisper has to inevitably fall behind.
Oh, and Roshan's up soon. Pretty quick spawn.
Oof. I mean, at least I'm excited that we have a series, though. People were doubting Infamous, but they clearly have what it takes to beat BeastCoast. Even at their own game as well.
Yeah, exactly. What's this going to mean for the table? Because Infamous are mid-table, right? 2 and 3. So it could.
Yeah. So if they win,
it could kind of.
They don't get relegated.
It could piss off BeastCoast and take them out of the major, maybe.
Yes. Oh, so much. And then they have to fight the last match against Thunder Awaken, and Infamous and Lava are both going to be frothing at their match. Yeah.
So yeah, you've got like Hokori Lava at 4-2. Oh, it's gonna get tasty at the end.
But Gareth, let's be honest, is it really necessary DPC if BeastCoast doesn't barely make it to the major? Like, that seems to be their bread and butter at this point.
Yeah, it's become tradition now.
And then you need the Thunder Awaken post about how that's cheating or whatever. It's always a drama at the end of the last match. Always so fun.
Oh, they missed the torrent timing, and Whisper blinks in on them. Go Scepter from Axel, and the Wind Waker, and the Eon Disc. They've got a Soulbind on the Kunkka, but he BKBs, and Kajura's rolled back in. BeastCoast giving it one last go as they chrono up the Kunkka and Shadow Demon. The two heroes K1 needed, but look at this Terrorblade just raining scalding hits down upon them, and BeastCoast, they've got to back up. Oscar is also going to find Whisper's Mars on the left-hand side, chasing him away from the base as Terrorblade looks towards the tier 4s. K1 backtracks, gets himself away with a time walk. Stinger is just going to run in with his Glimmer. Tries to inkswell some of these illusions. Terrorblade's having none of it. Mega Creeps, yet again, approaching the base. And Lumiere with another good 10 seconds of meta going. The zones in on the buildings. Get the structural damage forward, and Lumiere, he's going to have to BKB Sunder someone, but he's been bashed by K1. He's got Aegis still, though. You can't even kill him the once, never mind twice or 3 times. Terrorblade seemingly unstoppable at this point. He's silenced up by the Phantom's Embrace, but there's life 1. K1, that's a nice bit of heal and dispel from the Inkswell. There's the Wind Waker, though, from the Timber Sword to get him out of danger with a blink, and Lumiere shredding through BeastCoast. Void dead with no buyback for 100. And the rest of BC, they've got a lot on their plate. In fact, the throne is just straight up dead.
That was 100% the moment where Lumiere's like, they say I can't 1v5. Let me show them. Fantastic. Did you see as well, really clever, that to avoid the Lincolns on Ictor, he summoned an illusion instead, right? So he could get some of his HP back. Really, really good. Yeah. That's why he lasted the extra seconds. Mind you, the whole game was just impressive by Infamous. I think they played a fantastic game. I want to highlight, though, on top of Lumiere and obviously Alone, who really came out, the cores, and obviously Oscar's Timbersaw, as you pointed out earlier, Axel on the Shadow Demon had such a humongous impact for being a 5 that was killed all the time.
Like, he's 0-12, but he has has like what 25% more net worth than the Gojira Earth Spirit, who's 3-9.
Yeah.
Ah, he got a lot done. 14 assists, pretty damn good for the Shadow Demon. Yeah, I think the fact that Axel got his early Blink Ether Lens just allowed for this Kunkka to go for the Halberd AC. Oscar then with the Wind Waker. They had so many ways. You mentioned Lotus Orb as well on the Hoodwink. So no matter who got Chrono, they had ways to play around it and mitigate the damage that K1 was able to do. And then again, just coming back to the Viper point, it just didn't. I think that just didn't.
Yeah, it felt to me a little bit like the Clockwork last game, right? I mean, better certainly, because Clockwork is utter garbage, but the Viper kind of got thrown in the middle of the draft. You're like, okay, it's good against Timbersaw, but even Timbersaw made it out fine, right, after that mid-game. So no more Viper for BeastCoast, hopefully next game, and we'll see if they can force the game 3. As this time I'm going to take the throw. We're going to go back to the panel with Avo, Lillis, and RDO. See, I got my rhyme in there. Hey guys, welcome again. The curse stands. You guys both went with BeastCoast because you thought they were the better team, but I think Infamous showed up really, really well that game. Lillis, I'm going to ask you first on Oscar's Timbersaw. What a performance by him, right? Do you feel like he showed why that's a comfort hero for him?
Yeah, I mean, I think he played like a beast. I think his itemization was really good. His spell casting was amazing. Props to him. I think he was very good. He was very impressive, actually. It's one of his best heroes, right? So he performed. Yeah. He delivered. Very nice.
High praise. Thank you, Lillis. That's all I wanted. RDO, time for you to praise the carry, Lumiere. Is that the Terrorblade performance you'd be satisfied with?
Yeah, he played a very good Terrorblade game. I mean, he played against the legendary Mars ES lane, but he bought the Silver Edge and made so much stuff done with that. He killed the Viper by himself. He killed Grimstroke like 2 times, just walking around Invis with Silver Edge. So it's a very good performance by him.
RDO, years ago, I think it was like 3 years ago, I was watching a stream of yours when you were teaching, I think it was Bowie that you were teaching Terrorblade, actually. And I remember a comment that really stood in my head from, obviously, the master Terrorblade player, RDO, where you said that you were a bit disappointed how a lot of Terrorblades thought it was just like a farm fest and they would do nothing for their team. And they would just like sit back and then 1v9 them once they had meta, right? And that was a very standard play style. Do you feel like Lumiere broke that a little bit? Do you feel like he played the aggression you'd like to see in a Terrorblade and he utilized the small power spikes better?
Yeah. He did everything he could have done in the game. Like, he got a good lane. He pushed the waves. He played team fights very well. He was never the front line. He was always letting the Kunkka and the Timbersaw give him vision. Like, he was never the front line getting chrono then dying. He did a good job.
Thank you, RDO. Lillis, let's talk about the other side now. What was your opinion on... what was your opinion on the Viper pick to begin with? Do you feel like the Viper pick was a bit lackluster?
I feel like, yeah, the Viper was a little bit... it just felt a little bit weird because I think Infamous just did a good job in banning all of the Chris Luck heroes, right? I think BeastCoast also banned some of their own heroes. They banned Ember and Lesh, and I feel like they wanted one of those heroes instead of this Viper hero. Because I felt like they just weren't any heroes left. And then they kind of just picked this Viper, we're going to flex it, but it's just not a Chris Luck hero, right? It's just a very slow hero. It doesn't really roam around the map that well. He's a lane winner, but they got this gank on the Viper. Kunkka's also a very fast jungler, so he doesn't really care that much about the lane unless he's destroyed early. So I think it ended up favoring Infamous in the draft. And I also think Infamous just played better. They just played BeastCoast's own game, right? Like, BeastCoast's like, we're just going to farm, and then Lumiere's like, okay, I'm just going to farm faster than all of you. And that's kind of like what they did. I thought it was very impressive. They beat them at their own game. So, impressive from Infamous. I thought they weren't even gonna like try that hard, but they tried super hard and they deserve the win a lot.
I wanted to ask on that Viper as well as the follow-up. Did you feel like the priority of the game early with the Earthspit rotating early and kind of sacrificing the Mars a little bit was justified because that lane was so bad, like the Earthspit Mars, or do you feel like that was like ended up losing the game because Mars couldn't get online fast enough?
I mean, it's like RDO said, like the legendary Earth Spirit Mars lane. Like, this lane is just a terrible lane. You know, there's not much Earth Spirit can really do. There's no dynamic in the lane. There's no playing this lane. So Earthsphere either has to pull waves from ours, stack jungle, or gank mid, right? And he just wanted to gank mid where he has like a matchup where Viper wants to chain kill the Kunkka, right? I think he played it well. He did what he had to do, but it just wasn't enough.
All right, well, we'll see if they can do enough in the second game of the series. As BeastCoast, they on the other hand, this means a lot to them because if they lose here, that means the Thunder Awakening game has to be won for them to go to the major. Otherwise, they'll be forced to tiebreak because no matter what, either Lava or Hokori will tie with them. So it's guaranteed someone will get 5 points. So BeastCoast, if they want to secure that slot for the major, they need to put the pedal to the gas for game number 2. Will they be able to do that? We're going to have to see as we take a small break and we come back with game 2 between BeastCoast and Infamous. See you guys then.